Hello and welcome to this Hangout on Air from Suntico, a special hangout for consultants and advisors that work with companies that use Sage 50 accounting software. And the subject today is how to solve 7.5 common problems for your Sage 50 customers in 15 minutes. Of course, 15 minutes actually refers to two things. One thing it refers to is the time it will take for you to watch this Hangout on Air. It also refers to the time it would take for one of your clients to connect to Suntico and start driving up the productivity in their business. On the agenda today, a brief introduction to what Suntico is and whom it is for, 7.5 common problems that are solved by Suntico for your clients, and how you can engage with Suntico as an advisor to drive up productivity amongst your clients, as well as earn additional income from your existing client base. My name is Hugh Johnson. I'm Head of Business Development at Suntico. And if you want to reach out to me after this hangout, you can reach me via the usual social channels, or also by email at hugh.johnson@suntico.com. Okay, one moment, sorry. I'm told the sound is really, really bad. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to restart the whole thing because we're only just started. Right, I guess that proves this is a live broadcast. And I go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Hello and welcome to this Hangout on Air from Suntico, especially for advisors and consultants that work with customers and businesses that use Sage 50 accounting. And the subject today is how to solve 7.5 common problems for your Sage 50 customers in 15 minutes. And that 15 minutes can, of course, refer to two things. One is it can refer to the duration of this hangout, but it can also refer to the amount of time it would take to get one of your clients up and running with Suntico, connected to their Sage 50 and driving their business productivity forward. On the agenda today is a quick introduction to Suntico. What is it? Whom is it for? Then the 7.5 common problems that Suntico can solve for your clients. And finally, assuming that you're interested in this, how to engage with us as a Suntico advisor, helping your clients and growing your income at the same time. My name is Hugh Johnson. I'm Head of Business Development at Suntico. And if you like what you hear, or if you have any comments or want to get in touch with me after this hangout, please do so via the normal social channels or by email at hugh.johnson@suntico.com. McKinsey did a really interesting study recently, and they concluded that knowledge workers actually can spend up to a day a week simply searching for the information that they need to do their job effectively. This is an enormous drag on productivity. And the biggest productivity gap is found in companies employing 10 to 100 people. And in fact, for these companies, if you could just drive the productivity up and close that gap, just so that they could match the productivity of the purple guys, it'd be like adding another $1 million a year in average revenue to them without them having to add a single dollar in payroll cost. And for these companies, what Suntico provides is
If they're struggling to find out key customer information so they can serve their customers well, what Suntico provides is an exciting new alternative to a traditional customer relationship management system. And this alternative connects seamlessly into their Sage 50 accounting software and provides a rich context of customers, products, transactions that is so useful if you're trying to solve a customer issue and solve a customer problem, particularly for any business that is involved in a lot of business-to-business regular trading with the same sets of customers and vendors. And just like you might go to Facebook to find out what's going on amongst your personal networks and personal friends, so too can your clients now turn to Suntico to find out what's going on across their business. In fact, that's point number one that I want to raise. Problem number one that we're solving for your clients. Let's take a quick look at what I mean. Here I am logged into Suntico. As you can see, it's a web-based system, and in the background, it's connected to my Sage 50 accounting software. And as updates are made to Sage 50, that's pushed up into Suntico, so I can use that and access that from anywhere. I'm not going to go into full details here, but what I'll do is I'll drill straight down into this thing called My Wall, which is a bit like my news feed on Facebook. What that presents is a stream of information as it happens, related to the customers, the contacts, the transactions, the tasks, and the events that I'm following because they're of interest to me. And as any updates are made to those, they appear in my wall, and it's personal to me. It's my own personalized timeline. In other words, so instead of me looking for the information, it's like the information is actually finding me in a personalized way, just like Facebook works, really. Now, that's problem number one that I'm solving for our clients. Problem number two is actually sometimes it gets a bit deeper than that, because I might not want to follow all customers just in case, or all transactions just in case. I might be more picky, and I might not want to clog up my inbox with, or my timeline with various things. So what we can do is we can have this concept called dynamic lists. And a simple example I've got here would be customers with a balance exceeding $10,000. I don't want to follow, maybe I'm head of collections, I don't want to follow all customers, but I'm very interested in customers that have a large balance. So what I've done is I've created a dynamic list here, which is a list of all the customers that have a balance exceeding $10,000. And as customers' balances fluctuate and the information is published up from Sage 50, this list will vary, but I'm following the list, which means any update to any customers that happen to be in that list at the time gets pushed through into my wall. In other words, so as head of collections, I'm automatically following customers that have a large balance. So it's kind of an intelligent wall or intelligent filtering, which is very useful in a busy environment. That's problem number two that we're solving for your clients. Problem number three is a very common one, because in a small to medium-sized business, your Sage 50 data actually is a wealth of information, particularly in a business-to-business trading environment. It's a wealth of information. It contains your definitive customer list, your vendor list, all the previous transactions that have happened, the prices paid, the margins made. And that information in a B2B environment actually can be very useful for people outside the finance team, either to serve the customers or to analyze the markets better. But so often in so many companies, that data remains locked up within Sage 50 and only accessible by the main users of Sage 50. So what we do with Suntico is we enable you to publish that information securely and safely to other people within the company. And we do that in two ways. Firstly, what we do is we allow you to create different user profiles, which define what types of information somebody can see and what they can do with that type of information. The second thing we do down at an individual user level is that we can then define exactly which records they can see. So in this example, we have Callista Swinton. She's a sales manager in Bellwether Garden Supply. So we've given her access to Bellwether Garden Supply data. If this were a multi-company system, we would also have options to include other companies as well. Well, actually, Suntico is multi-company. It's actually, I've only got one company set up in Sage 50 that Suntico is connected to. Now, Callista is a sales manager for a territory called Atlanta 12, and she has a number of reps sitting under her that look after various accounts in this territory called Atlanta 12. And Callista can access any of her own accounts where she is the nominated rep for those accounts, plus all the accounts and all their transactions that fall into Atlanta 12. And you can set up and define those conditions within Suntico, but she cannot access any other records in the system. That's just one simple example, and you can tailor each user's profile accordingly. So that's how you publish data beyond the finance team. The fourth problem we solve is an eternal problem that happens time and again within small to medium-sized businesses, and that's how to build a company-wide contact database. And again, it might sound strange starting from your accounting software, but it's not. Think of your Sage 50 system. Your Sage 50 system contains the definitive list of your customers, unlike maybe the spreadsheets that float around the sales department. By definition, everything in your Sage 50 system is true and accurate. And that's an excellent starting point for your company-wide database. But on top of that, your sales team can start adding prospective accounts, prospective contacts, and additional addresses and various other information that they want to add in. And when a prospect becomes a customer and gets added into Sage 50, all that historic information that you had with them as a prospect is carried forward and not lost. So actually, starting with your Sage 50 customer list is an excellent place to start with to build your company-wide contact database. Then once you've done that, if you want to start with e-marketing campaigns, monthly newsletters and so on, we've added a nice, easy-to-use feature to publish your contacts out into MailChimp, which is a popular e-marketing solution for small business, to enable you to manage those monthly email lists or e-marketing campaigns and so on. Problem number 5 that we solve is the problem of related content. In most small businesses, 85 to 90% of information is what you call unstructured. It's notes, it's documents, it's files, it's images. It's not your hardcore transactional data that you have in your accounting software. Yet a lot of that related content, a lot of that unstructured content is actually related to your Sage 50 records. And there are 3 reasons why it's not a good idea to put all of that data into your Sage 50 system. Reason number 1 is that actually there's not always a place to put it. If you take Sage 50 US as an example, US edition as an example, there's nowhere to put an attachment to a purchase order. Reason number 2 is because you might not want to clog up your Sage 50 server. It may already be maxing out. Suntico is a cloud-based system, very easy to add additional storage, additional data at the flick of a switch. Reason number 3, perhaps the most important reason of all, is that not everybody in your company has access to Sage 50, yet they may all, or you may want to involve more people around this related content. For example, a sales representative might collect a signed delivery docket from the customer, or may want to handle an invoice, but you may not want to share other information with the user. So other users touch off this related content, yet you still want to relate it to your Sage 50 data. And adding that within Suntico is very simple. Within the wall facility, which exists within my wall, but each record within the system, each entity, each transaction also has its own wall. You can add files, you can add photos, you can add hyperlinks, you can add comments and discussions. And then within your dashboard, you can also find a central point. You can find all the documents and attachments there as well. So reason number 6, why, or in terms of problems that Suntico might solve for your customers, is that of managing tasks and events, again, that touch off your Sage 50 system. You could have events, for example, which could be a customer service meeting that triggers an invoice, and you need some place to record that against the customer record. Another example could be tasks where your finance team and your sales team need to collaborate over the collection of an invoice. I'll just give you a quick, simple example of that. And here in the system, what I've got set up is I've got a set of tasks. You can create different categories of tasks. I've got a collections task here where the finance team, I have created this task for Derek, the sales rep, for this account relating to this invoice, asking him to chase the invoice. That will appear as a notification with him as an open task for him to complete. And he can keep me up to date with the various things that happen within the wall of this task. That will also appear on my wall within the system in Suntico. So again, you've got reasons to collaborate with people outside your immediate Sage 50 user base that relate to your Sage 50 transactions. Reason number 7 is an obvious one. Suntico is a Suntico is a web-based system. And being a web-based system, you can access it through any mobile device that has access to the web, or a remote office, or somebody working at home on their Apple Mac. You're not accessing Sage 50, you're accessing your Sage 50 data. And unlike using something like Go to My PC or anything like that, you don't actually need your Sage 50 server back in your office to be switched on. You're accessing a copy of that data that's up in the cloud and available 24/7. Reason number 7.5, which I'm sure you've all been waiting for, which might actually, for some of you, might be the biggest reason of all, is unlimited users. And what I mean by that is that because of its history and for technical reasons, there is a cap on the number of users. No matter how much you pay, there's a cap on the number of users that you can add to Sage 50. There's no cap on the number of users that you can add to Suntico. Of course, you need to be on the right subscription plan, but there's no cap. So if you've got 200 people in your organization that you want to share your Sage 50 data with, you can, and you're not forced to upgrade to some larger enterprise resource planning system or so on. So those are 7.5 reasons why you may want to look at Suntico connected to your Sage 50 system. What's going on? I need to know more details and told about certain events. I need to share information beyond the finance team. I want to create a company-wide contact database. I want to manage content that is related to my Sage 50 records. I want to manage tasks and events that are also related to my Sage 50 records. I want to provide mobile or remote access to other users to access my Sage 50 data. And I don't want to be restricted in terms of the number of users that can access my Sage 50 data. So to summarize, if you think that's relevant to your clients, why not engage with us as a Suntico advisor? It's very simple, because actually we do all the work for you. We provide you with your own personal dedicated URL. We provide you with marketing content, email marketing content. We provide you with customer webinars. All you need to do is facilitate the introductions to your customers. We can track the rest, and we can pay you a rolling commission, which can go up to 30% for subscriptions from your customers. Getting engaged with us is very easy. All you have to do is go to our website, go to the Advisors tab, go to the form at the bottom of the Advisors tab, fill out that and register your interest, and we will follow up with you and we can get you signed up. Alternatively, you can contact me directly by email via hugh.johnson@suntico.com. I've run 1 minute overtime if you discount the errors we had in the sound earlier on. So I apologize for that, and I thank you all for your attention. I look forward to meeting with you and engaging with you shortly. Thank you.